Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be checking out Sorcerer Supreme in Labyrinth of Legends, and in this case we're going to be putting her up against Venom. Now my Sorcerer Supreme is a rank 5 5-star. She's currently Sig 80, so her damage potential could even go up if I were to Sig 200 her, because then her blessings are more potent and yeah, all of the stuff kind of like improves, and she steals more power and she gains more attack, so on and so forth. But that being said, Venom is kind of obviously a suitable opponent for Sorcerer Supreme because he gains buffs periodically, which I can nullify. The only kind of like downside is that those are permanent buffs, and I have to use a level 1 in order to kind of like nullify them and gain the advantage of Mystic Dispersion, which I have maxed out currently. And that being said, I much kind of preferred fighting, let's say, Unstoppable Colossus, which she soloed on the live stream, because those buffs are temporary and they just expire on themselves by themselves. And with that, obviously, I can maintain my rotation of level 2s. But here we're starting off quite easy. So in pretty much all of the Labyrinth fights, the initial goal is to more or less drop a level 3 when you have the armor break, when you have the fury kind of like blessing, and then every special attack is going to inflict armor break, and then you kind of cycle in between launching special attacks when you have the power gain blessing active or defensive one if you need regen. It's always kind of handy to have. And it's also super useful, that regional block in Labyrinth, because you can just block bait heavy attacks and block heavies. Like in Venom's case, you have absolutely no problem pushing Venom to level 2 and just eating level 2s in a block. You don't even need to bother trying to evade it or play cautiously or anything like that. And that's a really cool thing Sorcerer Supreme has going for her. Now, I wish her damage was slightly better, then she would in fact be an amazing Labyrinth option, because slow mechanic prevents them from evading, and obviously ability to heal all damage on block lets you play so much more safer. You don't need to intercept, you can always just block special attacks, you can block bait heavy attacks, and it just makes it a very simple with her to kind of like play in Labyrinth if her damage was slightly higher. Now, obviously, any matchup that has buffs involved, you do have better chance of bigger damage because you can stack up more armor breaks, and with plenty armor breaks, you hit hard enough. So yeah, the matchups in Labyrinth where opponents do have buffs, she still does sufficiently fine, I'd say. I do have a 20% attack and health boost thrown on here as well. I had a couple of them expiring, so I figured why not. And here we can see, yeah, so more or less the goal is always to spam your level 2s, let Venom build up some of his buffs, and then somewhere in between all of that, drop a level 1, nullify a chunk of buffs, hopefully launch a couple of level 2s back to back, and increase the amount of armor breaks you have active. And that is, yeah, very simple kind of game plan. My second kind of like issue point with Sorcerer Supreme is I really wish her level 3 also paused these debuffs and buffs you gain from blessings, because currently it's just the level 2, and you have to throw level 2 if you want to stack multiples and multiples and multiples, and sometimes accidentally you push yourself to level 3, and it's kind of like a waste, because yeah, it doesn't stop the armor breaks, it doesn't stop the slow debuffs like level 2 does, and then they just drop off quicker. And yeah, so level 2 is basically the one you always kind of want to aim for, because then they freeze the expiry of your regeneration, freeze the expiry of your armor breaks, and you can just get as many as you obviously can. And if you gain extra power via Mystic Dispersion, then you can stack up like significant amount of those armor breaks and end up hitting really hard. Now, sometimes it's very annoying when the AI starts playing defensive and you just watch your debuffs kind of like drop off. But all in all, it's quite easy, simple playstyle to maintain. We can see that 200 hits in Venom's at 28%. I'm gonna drop a level 2 at some point soon. So yeah, level 1 at some point soon. He has 3 buffs currently. Again, just eating those level 2s in block, not a big deal, healing up all that region. Now here we dropped a level 1 that also hits kind of decently hard with them 3 armor breaks. And we can see that immediately we nullify those buffs. And with that, we got to a level 2 as well immediately, and our damage does notice kind of like significant increase. And you can definitely notice also her damage difference while she's in her attack blessing. So now we're approaching assassin's range in this case, and that means that fight is about to be over. So yeah, Sorcerer Supreme obviously isn't like the prime candidate for LoL. Let's not fool ourselves. She definitely doesn't hit that hard, but she does have quite a lot of going for her to be able to do Labyrinth decently well for at least some of the matchups where you can debuff the opponents, where they have buffs. She will do really well, and all that extra added kind of like protection when you can block as much as you want and you don't have to worry about opponents evading if you can slow them. It's just absolutely wonderful. So I did enjoy this, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video because it's nearly over. So if you did like today's video, then hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.